In a small Russian town, nestled among towering trees and ancient graveyards, lurked a man named Anatoly Moskvin. He was known by the locals as an eccentric historian and linguist, but little did they know the dark and twisted secret that he kept hidden in his home. Moskvin's scholarly pursuits had taken a sinister turn. Obsessed with death and the occult, he spent his nights wandering through the desolate cemeteries, collecting notes on graves and photographing the tombstones of young girls. His once brilliant mind had descended into madness, consumed by a macabre fixation. One fateful night, Moskvin's morbid curiosity reached its peak. He ventured into the graveyard armed with a shovel, and under the cover of darkness he began to dig. He exhumed the bodies of deceased young girls one by one, and brought them to his home. In his dimly lit apartment, Moskvin performed unholy rituals. He meticulously mummified the corpses of the girls, preserving their remains with sinister precision. He dressed them in clothing and posed them like dolls, creating a grotesque and eerie scene that defied all sense of humanity. As the days turned into weeks and then into months, Moskvin's obsession grew deeper. He spoke to the lifeless bodies as if they could hear him, believing that he was communicating with their spirits. He spent hours sitting among them, lost in his delusions, convinced that he was helping them in some way. But the townspeople began to notice that something was amiss. Whispers of Moskvin's strange behavior spread, and rumors of his ghastly collection reached a fever pitch. The once respected historian had become a figure of terror, feared and avoided by all. One day, the police finally arrived at Moskvin's door, armed with a warrant to search his home. What they found inside sent chills down their spines. The mummified corpses of young girls, arranged in eerie poses, stared back at them with hollow eyes. As the investigation unfolded, more details about Moskvin's twisted actions came to light. It was revealed that he had meticulously researched the lives of the young girls whose bodies he had desecrated. He knew their names, ages, and even their favorite hobbies. He had carefully selected them based on his own warped criteria, which he believed would grant him access to a higher realm of knowledge. Moskvin's obsession with the deceased girls had consumed him entirely. He had spent countless hours dressing them in elaborate outfits and posing them in eerie positions, as if they were his own life-sized dolls. He had taken hundreds of photographs of his macabre handiwork, creating a sickening gallery of images that captured the horrifying extent of his madness. Moskvin was apprehended and taken away, ranting and raving about his research and his communication with the dead. His apartment was sealed off, and the townspeople whispered that the place was haunted, cursed by the souls of the desecrated girls. As the case against Moskvin unfolded, the town was gripped by fear and disbelief. The once respected historian had turned into a nightmarish figure, a personification of horror that haunted their collective consciousness. The townspeople could not fathom the depths of Moskvin's depravity and the darkness that had consumed him. Rumors began to circulate that Moskvin's apartment was cursed, and that the souls of the girls he had desecrated haunted the place. Some claimed to have heard strange whispers and felt a chilling presence in the air. Others swore that they had seen the lifeless eyes of the mummified girls move, as if seeking justice for the heinous crimes committed against them. The police conducted a thorough investigation of Moskvin's apartment, and the evidence against him was overwhelming. His notes and research revealed a twisted mind obsessed with death, the occult, and his own delusions. The mummified bodies of the girls were carefully catalogued as evidence, and Moskvin was charged with a litany of heinous crimes. During his trial, Moskvin's behavior was erratic and delusional. He claimed that he had not committed any crime and that he was merely conducting research on the afterlife. He rambled about his communication with the spirits of the girls and how he believed he was helping them in their journey beyond the grave. Despite his claims of innocence, Moskvin was found guilty and sentenced to spend the rest of his life in a maximum security psychiatric facility. His apartment was sealed off, and the town tried to move on from the horror that had unfolded in their midst. But the legend of Anatoly Moskvin continued to cast a long shadow over the town. Locals avoided his apartment building, claiming that it was cursed and haunted. Some reported hearing ghostly cries and whispers coming from the sealed-off apartment, while others claimed to have seen shadows moving behind the windows at night. Years passed, and Moskvin's name faded from the headlines, but the memory of his ghastly deeds remained etched in the town's history. The cemetery where he had carried out his dark rituals was now shunned by the locals, who believed it was tainted by Moskvin's malevolent presence. Over time, the once thriving town fell into a state of decay. Businesses closed, and people moved away, unable to forget the horror that had unfolded in their midst. The legend of the Russian doll man, as Moskvin came to be known, became a cautionary tale passed down through generations, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the human soul. And to this day, locals claim that on moonless nights, when the wind whispers through the cemetery and the shadows dance on Moskvin's sealed-off apartment, the ghostly cries of the young girls he defiled can still be heard, a haunting echo of the horror that once gripped the town. The legend of Anatoly Moskvin lives on. To this day, the legend of Anatoly Moskvin lives on, a dark tale of madness and horror that haunts the town. Some say that the souls of the girls still linger, seeking justice for the unspeakable crimes committed against them. And the once quiet cemetery now stands as a chilling reminder of the horrors that can lurk in the shadows, forever shrouded in mystery and darkness.